For 3,000 years, the Persian New Year, Nowruz, has been a time of renewal. But in the spring of 2026, the season of rebirth became the season of fire. The world is on edge. What started as a shadow conflict between two sworn enemies for decades through proxies, cyber attacks and assassinations has now exploded into open, direct conflict, a multi-front war that stretches from the Caspian Sea to the Red Sea and from the oil fields of Kuwait to the shores of the Mediterranean. Missiles are flying, global oil supply is collapsing, and superpowers are being pulled in: Israel, Iran, and now the United States. This is no longer just a regional conflict. It is not just another escalation. This is a war that is redrawing the map of the Middle East, collapsing global energy markets, and forcing the world to confront a question we had hoped belonged to the past. How close are we to a regional war that no one can control? Welcome to GoldenTime Vault. Today, we break down the latest developments in the Israel-Iran war and why this conflict may be far from over. How the war started, the roots trace to decades of tension, Iran's 1979 revolution severed ties with Israel, and the US fueling proxy wars via Hezbollah and Hamas. Fast forward to 2023's the 7th of October attacks, sparking Gaza's war, then 2025's 12-day war, where Israel and US hit Iranian nuclear sites like Natanz, delaying Tehran's program, but not destroying it. Protests erupted in Iran late 2025 over economic collapse, with security forces killing thousands, prompting Trump's locked and loaded threats. By February 2026, amid nuclear talks in Oman, the US amassed carriers like USS Geraldana Ford in the Gulf, the biggest build-up since 2003 Iraq. Netanyahu lobbied Trump hard at Mar-a-Lago for action against Iran's nukes and missiles. EIA found hidden enriched uranium, but no bomb-proof, yet access was denied. The spark came on the 28th of February 2026 in a coordinated operation V2 Lido, l'Operation Epivue Wali RC Vaulai. The United Authority or Tridu launched massive airstrikes across Iran. The very first wave targeted Tehran, directly killing the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and dozens of senior IG commanders. Iran called it an unprovoked, illegal invasion. The US and Israel framed it as a preemptive action to dismantle Iran's nuclear and missile capabilities before they could threaten the region further. Within hours, Iran retaliated with missile waves. Israel's cities came under fire. US bases across the Middle East were targeted. Some missile intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome, but impacts in densely populated areas caused civilian casualties. Closed the Strait of Hormuz to commercial traffic, launching missile barrages at Israel and activating proxies across Lebanon, Iraq, and Yemen. And within days, the entire region was burning. By the 1st of March, reports emerged of a missile strike on a girls' school near an ERGC base, killing nearly 170, horrific collateral damage that fueled global outrage. Iran's ERGC announced the Strait of Hormuz closure, triggering over the 20th of March I-time incidents. Shipping halted, oil prices began climbing. Mid-March escalation. Israel confirmed killing Supreme National Security Council Secretary Ali Larijani and Basiji Force Head General Gholam Reza Soleimani in Tehran airstrikes. Iran launched 9 missile barrages in 24 hours, including cluster munitions, hitting central Israel. Rishon Lezion, Holland train station damaged. Israel struck one of Iran's most important assets, the South Pars gas field. South Pars is the largest natural gas field in the world, shared between Iran and Qatar. It supplies Iran with the vast majority of its domestic gas and provides Qatar with the wealth that made it a global energy superpower. Israel launched a precision strike on the Iranian side of that field, an attack that Israeli officials later confirmed was carried out with bunker-busting munitions designed to reach deep underground facilities where Iran hides missile assembly lines. But this wasn't just about energy. In a televised address, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu laid out a new doctrine. He said, and I quote, "Iran today does not have the ability to enrich, no possibility to produce missiles." His stated goal, to destroy the entire industrial base that supports Iran's nuclear and missile programs, not just freeze them. This represents a fundamental shift. For 15 years, Israeli strategy had been one of mowing the grass, periodic strikes to set back Iran's nuclear program without triggering all-out war. Now, the Netanyahu government is pursuing what it calls uprooting the tree. The South Pars strike was the first domino, but what's fascinating and deeply consequential is that Trump publicly stated he told Netanyahu not to repeat energy strikes, claiming the US wasn't informed in advance. Netanyahu revealed that President Donald Trump wanted to avoid a spike in global energy prices ahead of an economic summit. That signaled a widening gap between Washington and Jerusalem, with US intelligence admitting misalignment. Iran's response was immediate, and it did not target only Israel. Ring of fire for the Gulf under siege. Within 48 hours, Iran launched the largest coordinated missile and drone strike in its history. But instead of only aiming for Israeli territory, it struck at the economic heart of the Gulf, the oil and gas infrastructure of America's closest Arab allies. In the United Arab Emirates, air defense batteries intercepted 4 ballistic missiles and 26 UAVs over Abu Dhabi. Debris fell near residential areas, but no casualties were reported. Kuwait. The situation was more severe. The Mina al-Qiyamadi oil refinery, one of the largest in the Middle East, was struck by a swarm of Iranian drones. Multiple storage tanks caught fire. Kuwaiti officials announced a 40% reduction in refining capacity, with repairs expected to take months. Bahrain, home to the US Navy's 5th Fleet, reported that shrapnel from intercepted missiles damaged a warehouse near the port. And in Saudi Arabia's eastern province, the heart of its oil industry, the Royal Saudi Air Force intercepted drones heading toward a major offshore field. The most devastating blow may not be the explosions themselves, but the blockade. According to data analyzed by BBC Verify, daily tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has fallen by 95% since the war began on the 28th of February. Iran has effectively closed the world's most critical oil choke point, not with mines or warships, but with the threat of missile attacks on any vessel transiting its waters. The immediate consequence, oil prices surged past $1.20 a barrel, but the long-term damage is even more alarming. The energy apocalypse, global shock. Qatar, the world's largest exporter of liquefied natural gas, suffered a crippling blow. Iranian missiles struck the Ras Laffan facility, the largest LNG complex on the planet. Qatar's energy minister made a stunning announcement. Export capacity would be reduced by 17% for the next 5 years. The damage to the gas liquefaction units, what industry experts call trains, is so severe that, as one analyst put it, it's not a repair, it's a full rebuild. For Europe, this is catastrophic. After the war in Ukraine, European nations turned to Qatari LNG to replace Russian pipeline gas. Now, a third of that supply is gone. The immediate result, natural gas prices in the Netherlands and the UK tripled in a single week. In Asia, Japan and South Korea, both heavily reliant on Middle Eastern LNG, are now scrambling to secure alternative supplies, driving a global bidding war. The economic impact is so severe that the Pentagon is reportedly seeking an additional $200 billion in emergency funding, specifically for the Iran war effort. That's on top of existing defense appropriations. And it's not just military spending. The World Trade Organization issued a rare emergency warning, stating that interruptions to fertilizer production due to the loss of natural gas used to make nitrogen fertilizer could reduce global food yields and push up food prices by double digits in developing nations. We are now facing a scenario where a war in the Middle East could trigger food shortages on the other side of the world. This is the true cost of a conflict fought with drones and missiles, expanding battlefields while the world focused on the Persian Gulf. Israel and the United States struck Iran in a place that rarely makes headlines, the Caspian Sea. Netanyahu confirmed that joint US-Israeli operations destroyed Iran's entire naval fleet in the Caspian, a body of water that does not even touch the Middle East. Why they were there? Because Iran used the Caspian to smuggle weapons to its allies in the Caucasus and to Russia. The strike was a message. No Iranian military asset anywhere is safe. Then came a moment of dangerous confusion. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps announced that it had shot down a US F-35 fighter jet over Iranian airspace. For 12 hours, social media erupted with speculation of a direct US-Iran confrontation. The US Central Command eventually clarified. The jet was forced to make an emergency landing due to a mechanical failure, and the pilot was safely recovered. But the fact that such a claim could be made, and that it took hours to refute, shows how close the region is to a miscalculation that could spiral into a US-Iran war. Meanwhile, the war expanded on other fronts. In Lebanon, the Israeli Defense Forces expanded ground operations deeper into the south, targeting Hezbollah rocket launchers. In Syria, Israeli strikes hit Iranian-linked targets near the Golan Heights. And in the West Bank, a pregnant woman was among 4 killed by Iranian missile strikes. The first time Iran has directly targeted Palestinians in the West Bank, a move that threatens to inflame the already volatile occupied territories. On the 20th of March, Iran launched fresh missile barrages, sirens, in Shura Valley. Explosions reported seconds after Vacha. Smoke rising over historic sites. Cluster bombs and ballistic missiles targeted central Israel. Again, Israel responded with airstrikes on Tehran, hitting targets even as Iranians celebrated Nowruz, the Persian New Year. As the battlefield widens, the human toll is mounting. The human cost feed Nowruz under bombs. Nowruz is the most cherished holiday in Iranian culture. It's a celebration of spring, renewal, and family. This year, the streets that should have been filled with music and laughter were eerily quiet. Families gathered indoors, not to celebrate, but to seek shelter from the sound of explosions. BBC Persian spoke to a woman named Mina in northern Tehran. She said, "I wish everything could be wiped from our memories like we just woke up from a bad dream." Another resident, a retired teacher, told reporters that she couldn't set her traditional Nowruz table because she couldn't afford the ingredients. Prices had soared so much due to the war. According to the human rights organization RANA, the death toll in Iran since the war began on the 28th of February has surpassed 3,186 people. That number includes civilians killed in airstrikes, but also members of the ARGC and paramilitary forces. Hospitals in Tehran, Isfahan, and Mashhad are reportedly overwhelmed, with medical supplies running low due to sanctions and the blockade. Israel lost at least 18 dead, 3,700, plus wounded from Iranian attacks. Iraq, approximately 60 killed, and other Gulf states, 21 plus, killed in energy site hits. US, 13 service members lost. Yet, the regime shows no sign of backing down. The IRGC has publicly vowed zero restraint if its infrastructure is attacked again. In a televised speech, a senior commander said, "The Islamic Republic will defend its sovereignty to the last drop of blood." But beneath the official rhetoric, there are signs of strain. Reports from inside Iran suggest that the government is struggling to maintain public order as food and fuel become scarce. The war is not just a military challenge for Tehran, it is a test of its legitimacy at home. The American dilemma, Sue Trump, Biden, and the ghosts of the past. The United States finds itself in a familiar, yet terrifying position, entangled in a Middle Eastern war it did not start, but cannot easily walk away from. Netanyahu's disclosure that President Trump asked Israel to avoid attacking gas fields reveals the complex dynamic between the two allies. While the Trump administration has been one of the most supportive of Israel in American history, it has also prioritized stable energy markets and sought to avoid a direct US-Iran war. The White House reportedly viewed the South Pars strike as a dangerous escalation that could spike gasoline prices at home, a politically sensitive issue for any sitting president. Behind the scenes, US diplomats are pressing Israel to agree to a limited ceasefire, at least long enough to allow some traffic to resume through the Strait of Hormuz. But so far, Israel has rejected any pause, arguing that Iran would use the time to rebuild its missile stockpiles. The administration faces a delicate balancing act, supporting its key Middle Eastern while preventing the conflict from spiraling into a region-wide war that could draw in American forces. The other major powers are watching with alarm. The European Union has condemned the strikes on Qatari energy infrastructure, but has stopped short of imposing sanctions on Israel.
Most of Europe don't condemn, support Trump's Netanyahu's war. Only Iran yet claim to stand with the Iranian people. Now I dare you to say that to the eyes of that 7-year-old girl, her backpack still beside her desk, that was killed when the US Tomahawk missile hit her elementary school. Dare to admit to the 167 other victims in that school that you are offering European bases to US killing machines. Tell the families of Tehran, a city of 10 million people, that you support the chemical warfare of Israel as they poison the air with toxic fires and black rain that will cause cancers for decades. Tell the Iranian people how much you really love them. While from Golestan to Jehel Sotun, Western bombs damage century-old cultural heritage. Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, Iraq, your bombs never brought democracy and never will. They bring chaos, death, destruction, and the unbearable silence of children who will never.
China, which imports a massive share of its oil from the Gulf, has called for restraint on all sides, while quietly positioning its naval assets to protect its shipping. So far, no major power has intervened directly, but the longer the war continues, the greater the risk of escalation, impacts, and global reactions. This war is reshaping the world. Oil and gas prices, volatile energy crisis looming, Eid al-Fitr celebrations across the Middle East, overshadowed by air raid sirens. Iranian diaspora clashing in cities like London. Some see strikes as liberation from regime, others condemn as imperialism. Trump called NATO allies cowards for limited support. Questions swirl: has the US lost control? Are Israel and America aligned? No ceasefire in sight. Both sides claim victories while vowing more. The endgame. So, what does victory look like for Israel? Prime Minister Netanyahu has outlined a bold post-war vision. He wants to use this conflict to create new energy corridors, pipelines running from the Gulf states across Saudi Arabia and Jordan to Israeli ports in the Mediterranean. If successful, it would bypass the Strait of Hormuz entirely, breaking what he calls the choke points of global energy. It's an audacious plan, one that would cement Israel's role as a regional energy hub and fundamental the balance of power in the Middle East, but it truth is, no one knows how this ends. The war has already exceeded the scale of any previous Iran-Israel confrontation. It has drawn in Gulf states, disrupted global energy markets, and threatened to ignite a wider sectarian conflict. The only certainty is that the old rules of the shadow war are gone, and in their place, we are witnessing the birth of a new, more dangerous Middle East. The Israel-Iran war, now us involved, has entered dangerous, uncharted territory. Energy infrastructure targeted, leadership decapitated, civilians suffering. Will it spiral into full regional war or force a negotiated end? Only time, and perhaps more strikes, will tell. What do you think? Escalation or de-escalation next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We will continue to follow these developments closely. This is a story that touches every corner of our world, from the gas we put in our cars to the stability of nations. If you found this deep dive valuable, please like and subscribe to GoldenTime Vault for more documentary-style coverage of the history unfolding before our eyes. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay informed. This is GoldenTime Vault, signing off. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
So Pario, well, will like and subscribe to GoldenTime Vault.